Hey everybody, welcome to Garden Sound 365. My name is Garden Sound. This is the show where I write music every day for a year. Today's episode is going to be Style Guide Sunday. I do this every Sunday. And this Sunday's request comes from Joseph, and we're going to be looking at Elder Scrolls music like Oblivion, Skyrim, Morrowind, etc. Just a reminder for people who are new to the channel, this is my vlog. If you don't want to listen to this and you'd rather just hear the music that I wrote today, click below in the description. There's a link there that'll take you to a playlist that I've set up that has all of the music I've written so far throughout this project. Also, this month, November, traditionally to raise awareness for prostate cancer and testicular cancer, men will grow mustaches or they will do No Shave November as a way of bringing awareness to those problems. It's the biggest killer of men in the United States. I can't do that. In order to help out, what I've decided to do is run a subscription drive for the month of November. If we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of November, not only am I going to shave my head, but I will donate the entire month's ad revenue to the Movember Foundation. Also, this Thursday, the 10th of November, here's the poster, I'll be playing a show with these guys at Smith's Old Bar. Don't miss it. Alright, let's talk about Elder Scrolls music in general. When I say Elder Scrolls music, I mean like the kind of, it's kind of like medieval themed, because the games themselves are fantasy in sort of a medieval era. It's got that atmosphere. So when, I'm going to pull some of the music up and we'll just hear a couple examples. That'd probably be easiest. Three of those examples were from the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is the fourth game in the series. There's a couple things that we need to talk about that make that music effective. So you've got a couple different ideas there. The first was more of a sort of adventuring kind of theme. There's a very strong emphasis on music that's in three. Music that's in three is typically sort of traveling music, or adventuring music associated with the high adventure. Think about Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Hans Zimmer typically uses things that are in three to imply some sort of journey, some marauding is happening. 3 or 6/8, which is technically 3 twice, but compound meter that dun 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 dun. You're not emphasizing anything but one. So you have triple it, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Like that's very common. The second example we heard was what sounded like a stringed instrument plucking. It's probably not a real instrument, and I think that's one of the things that makes this soundtrack effective, because none of these instruments are real instruments. They're either computer generated via Contact, or maybe Garriton Personal Orchestra, or maybe even a Roland like I've got. Some of the Roland synthesizers have very good orchestral samples, very good string samples. Also, the type of scales that we're using here are either going to be mostly Dorian or Lydian. Those are modes. So you're going to have a lot of modal music. And the reason that's effective is because that's the kind of music that people had back in those days. And that's what they're doing here. So you get modes, you get lots of things in three, a lot of hollow voicing. Back then it was nearly illegal. Well, I wouldn't say it was illegal. It was just very uncommon, and it was looked down upon to use voicings that weren't following the rules. There was very strict rules. There were very strict rules on what could and couldn't be done in terms of the way the voices were led. That has to do with counterpoint. We're not going to get into that detail, but yeah, let's jump into it and see if we can write some Elder Scrolls music in Dorian. So, as usual, get that timer started. Let's roll. If you can't tell, this is really making me concentrate. I'm not talking very much today because I'm like focused. Alright, so I'm cleaning up this guitar lute thing that I've been writing. And then I'm going to start adding a little bit more layer and texture to it. I'm actually composing now. That's why I'm not talking. I'm sitting here like actually just composing some stuff. Like I'm not copying. Yeah. You're seeing the real thing. We've got our strings in there. We've got our harp in there. Let's add some brass. Okay, so just to review what we learned today, modes, scales, modal pitches, modal. Make the music modal. If you don't know what that means, I'll include a link below to musical modes, so you understand what I'm saying. I don't have time to explain it today. The modes, if we're doing exciting music, we want to stay in 3. And if we're doing our chords open voicings, lots of parallel fifths, lots of parallel fourths, lots of octaves. That's how you're going to get that epic sort of medieval sound. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions about what we learned today, comment below. And I'll see you next week on Style Guide Sunday. But as usual, fresh beats in the description below. See you tomorrow.